Welcome to the Success Blueprint podcast, where we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship and success. Join us in uncovering the stories behind the triumphs, challenges, and invaluable lessons learned by today's most inspiring entrepreneurs. From real estate moguls to tech innovators, we explore the secrets to their success and share actionable insights to help you on your own journey. If you're looking to unlock your full potential and achieve your dreams, you're in the right place. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered to take your own entrepreneurial endeavors to the next level. Welcome, everybody. Today's guest is an absolute powerhouse in the world of real estate and inside sales. With over 14 years of experience as a licensed realtor and an unapologetic obsession with converting leads from online into in-person, Courtney has generated over 400 million in real estate sales and boasts a consistent 18% annual GCI. So she's so dedicated to her craft that she's even named her rescue Mojo, which I love that you have a rescue dog. I used to have one as well. Love rescues. So she named Mojo after her favorite dialing software. So yeah, I would say that she's that committed to the game. So Courtney, she is a master at turning digital strangers into loyal clients, and she's here to pull back the curtain on prospecting strategies that actually truly work, guys. When she's not closing deals, she's navigating the beautiful chaos of raising two fierce daughters and staying grounded with hot yoga, hiking, and plant-based living. We were talking about how we're a lot alike in those ways. And her mix of grit, humor, and high-performance mindset makes her one of the most engaging voices in real estate today. So get ready to take note, guys, because this inside sales is not just good at what she's done. She's an actual MVP. So welcome to the show, Courtney. I'm so glad that you are joining us today. I want to kick things off by asking you a couple of questions and getting into what actually lit the spark for you to switch from real estate to inside sales, because you're a real estate agent dedicated externally for a period of time, and then you switched internally. So was there a defining moment for you, and what kind of made you say, this is it?
Right. Thank you. That's such a big introduction, though.
No, I feel nervous.
Don't feel nervous.
Yeah, so I had been a licensed real estate agent for about 5 or 6 years. And to be honest, the juggle, like how agents do it, is so impressive. I just had my second baby. And juggle of trying to be out on showings. We didn't have family within an hour, so it was going all over, and it was just utter chaos. And so I had been okay with prospecting on the phone, I didn't love it. And so anyways, it was just like, okay, if I could just be at home more for before school and after school and everything, and I could just make enough money by doing referrals. So I'll prospect and find the leads, but where the problem is like when I actually have to go and do showings and things, I'll just give them to someone else and then take a referral from it. And if I could scale enough, it would be like the same thing, but I would get to take away all the chaos of having to go around and do showings and that stress that kind of came with it, like who's going to watch the kids. And so I had done a few deals with Jennifer Jones before, and she was obviously an amazing agent. And so I reached out. If you can convert enough leads that I do it, just pay me a referral. And if nothing comes of it, then don't worry. And so that's how it started. And it started that I would just do it a few times a week. And then, you just kind of get going. And Jen always pushes you outside your comfort zone. So then we grew from there and then started actually buying online leads and have now full-blown scaled it into a department.
I know, it's been incredibly impressive to watch you guys do that, to be honest.
Thanks.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's been fun. So that's what it was. Like, if I could just have more control over at least geographically where I am and still do the real estate transactions, then that would solve the biggest problem I had.
And I think it's really interesting that you were able to figure that out for yourself, because so many people out in the world may be looking at wanting to become a real estate agent, loving that idea, but maybe thinking, oh, it doesn't really fit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
You took it and you made it fit your lifestyle. So that's pretty entrepreneurial of you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, there's so many books, but this idea of this, a visual box. And so it was like, okay, what am I willing to do?
And then what am I not willing to do? And so, took out all the things that I wasn't willing to do, which is like run around doing showings and things. So it was like, okay, so how can I, still hit my goals inside this box of what I will do, which is like, all right, well, I'll just prospect the heck out of everyone I can find and convert that way and remove all the things I don't want to do.
I love it.
So
Now, I imagine that as you were doing all of that stuff, it was a pretty hard grind. So, did you ever have a moment when you were feeling like walking away? And when you did feel that, what actually kept you going?
yeah, so when it was part-time, it was okay. And then I had moved in after, 4 or 5 months into the full-time role, and we started buying the online leads. And we were probably 3 or 4 months into it without a single deal. And it was every day doing these calls. And he used to say to me every day, like, are you doing your hobby again today? Are you volunteering this week? Like, and so it was like, so like you just wanted to give up. And honestly, it is just spite. That's the only thing that kept me going. I remember I actually even called this coach, and I won't throw him under the bus. I had learned everything about prospecting when I first got started in real estate by doing all his boot camps. And I called and I was like, I'm going to do this online lead business. I'm going to call them all, and here's my big plan. And he's like, you'll never make money converting online leads. He's like, you're going to call me in 6 months to tell me you're going to start real estate again. And I was like, honestly, it's just spite. I was like, I'm going to prove them both wrong, that we can make money. Like, I know it works out. It's just a matter of figuring it out. So it was
Thank God for your spite, man, because first off, I think that's terrible of that coach to say that. And like, listen, I've got a husband too, and he doesn't always see my dreams and visions either. However, when you are able to show them, look what I did. Doesn't it feel good?
Oh, it does. It's totally worth it. I love reminding him all the time.
Me too. I told you we're a lot alike.
Amazing.
Well, that's awesome, because you have actually earned yourself the title of being lead legend. So you've literally shown that coach where to put it. And you're also known as the ISA Wonderkin. So these are for reasons that obviously you've achieved it. You put in the work. But what was your mindset going into cold calls? And how do you turn those first 15 seconds of opportunity into actual connection? Because we all know that you only get one shot, and it is like seconds to get that shot. So what do you do?
Yeah, for sure. So the scripting of that first 20 seconds, and you're right, it's like a 15 or 16 seconds. That is like, it's all logical and strategic. What you say and how you say it. And I say that same thing every single time. So that's definitely the most important part of the phone call. And then after that, it's a conversation. As far as like mindset, it's just math. So now that I'm 8 years into doing this full time, I have my numbers. I just know every time I pick up the phone, it's like I make $4. So if they answer, if they don't answer, if they tell me to F off, it changes nothing. So there is no real emotion and feeling. It's just logic. And so if I have this goal at the end of the year, I have to make at least, 50,000 phone calls throughout the year. So I don't even think about it. It's just like a checkbox. And I love that black and white of things. It really is that mindset. And I mean, we talked about it at the beginning. It was just like, it's going to be great. And then you start thinking it's not going to be great, spiteful, and it has to be great. But now that we've overcome all that, there isn't as much of a roller coaster. I just trust in that process that we've created the right program that allows the numbers to just work out.
And that's what I love, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs. Some are real estate agents, some are first-time business owners, all over the spectrum. And one of the biggest pieces of advice that I give people is that your job is to collect no's. Because for every no that you're collecting, it's compiling in your numbers and you're getting closer to the yes. So I absolutely love that you know specifically that no matter what, every phone call you make, you're making $4. Whether they pick up, don't pick up, do business with you, don't do business, you're making $4. And taking that emotionality out of the actual business. It was really interesting. I read actually an article a while back, and it actually was talking about how the highest level of executives and CEOs, 1 in 5 of them
actually demonstrate not psychotic, but so pathological, not pathological, sorry. Killers, like serial killers.
Yeah.
It's like a trait that they have because they are
Oh.
able to completely separate emotions.
Right.
So these executives are so successful because they literally are able to compartmentalize and separate the emotion.
Sure,
So 1
yeah.
in 5 executives that's so successful, that's why, because they have that, not psychotic behavior, but anyways.
Oh,
And
it's
it's
definitely crazy. I mean, no one really wants to be, like, be a telemarketer. It
uh,
happens, but it's like, you just kinda overcome that and focus on it.
and it's just business. It's just another way that you are making money. And that's what I love that to separate it. So that leads to a really good question that I have. Have you ever doubted your ability to lead at the level that you're operating now? Because one of the things that you do that I love that you do is you actually teach other people how to do the cold calling successfully, by the way.
Yeah.
And so how do you deal with imposter syndrome? And really, what is keeping you motivated in doing that?
We definitely love teaching people. I'm actually, in this weird way, like, passionate about it because it has allowed me to design this, like, really great lifestyle. And not just for moms, like for dads or for people that have other things. I just love that there's so much freedom and opportunity involved in being able to design my days that it's like, I'm here as soon as the girls get off the bus, and like I'm still doing my work all the time. I'm always dialing on vacations, but it's like in my head, if I just make 100 phone calls today while in Cabo, it pays for Cabo. So
Yeah.
so I actually am like randomly passionate about this because I think it's such a cool opportunity, and there's agents who don't want to do calls, and if they can partner up with people that love this lifestyle that can do the calls, I think it's like such a gift. Imposter syndrome, 100% every time. Like when you ask me to be on this podcast, anytime anyone like asks me these things, I'm like, oh, I'm just me in a corner with a messy bun and a tracksuit. So I constantly feel imposter syndrome. We're expanding now, and we've been like hiring and placing ISAs on real estate teams, and like doubt my ability to train people to do what I'm doing every day. I'm like, maybe they should like go scripting with Anna or something, because I don't really do anything that exciting, because it isn't anything crazy. I'm not like some crazy artist who has, you know what I mean? It's just consistent. And so that constantly makes me think I'm the wrong person for whatever role people are trying to place me in. So yeah.
Here's the reframe for that I'd love to give you on it. It doesn't matter that you're not doing anything exciting. What you're doing is you are demonstrating to people that if you follow the method, you're going to be successful. I tell people all the time, the success is really just a formula. A plus B equals C. Honest to God, success is a formula. People will tell you, here's exactly what you need to do. The thing is that people get lost in the grit of trying to recreate the wheel.
Right.
You don't need to do that. And you especially know you don't need to do that. You literally said your first 15 to 16 seconds of the phone call is very methodical, very thought out, very technical. And so because you are literally performing that exact same strategy every single time, you have become the perfectionist at it. But for you to be able to teach it to somebody else, you're still teaching them the flair, like the way that your tone goes up or down. That's where the personality comes into play. That's what makes a difference. Like if you get somebody, they're like, "Hi, Courtney, are you thinking about buying or selling in the next 3 to 6 months?"
Right.
You're not going to want to talk to them. But if you get somebody and you're like, "Hey, Courtney, this is Colleen. I'm just calling to touch base with you. Find out, you thinking about buying or selling within the next 3 to 6 months?" One's more engaging, right? And that's what you're bringing to the table, is you're teaching people that aspect too. So I don't want you to ever think that, you're not teaching anything exciting. You make it exciting. And really, it doesn't have to be the steps that are exciting. It's the end result that is exciting.
Oh, yeah. And
the $4 per call, it's like, yeah, you know what? I want to make $400. I'm doing 100 calls. That's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's everything that happens as a result of what I do that is just so great. So
exactly. And there's a reason. I know Jennifer is a very smart woman. There's a reason why she's picked you to be doing this with. So
yeah.
Gotta get rid of that imposter syndrome. You're very good at what you do. Very, very good.
The question, I was just thinking,
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's just I want you to know how good
Right.
you are. There's a
Please.
reason why I asked you to be on here too, because I've been watching you for a while and I saw you and I was like, you know what? I gotta have her on there. And I'll tell you, some of the videos, like I was mentioning to you, the video that I remember that has really stuck out to me was when you were opening your pool or your hot tub last spring, I think it was, and you were talking about how, guys, even when I am doing this stuff, I am able to do my
Oh,
business.
yeah.
And like, I think for a lot of people too, like there's people for many different reasons that don't feel comfortable leaving their homes at this point for, whether they've got health ailments, whether they're afraid of going outside, whether they don't have transportation, whatever the case is. Stay at home moms, people who are limited with the time that they have available. Let's be honest, our world right now, we're looking at a lot of economic uncertainty. So people are looking for other opportunities. And so when you're looking for other opportunities and you see there's a formula behind this that literally if I do A, B, C, I will be successful,
Yeah.
it really helps motivate, which brings me to my next question. What fuels you when you are feeling unmotivated, when it's just not there, when you're feeling kind of crappy someday? What really motivates you with it?
I always just come back to the math. So I'll have, there's for sure days where it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. And it's like, I'll load an older list that maybe won't get as many answers. And I know the value's still there. And I just can't miss that number every day. So I don't know, even if like, I have done it like when I'm like sick and I'm just like lying there in bed. Like, I just need to get through at least like a minimum of 100 and then everything will be okay today. Or find more fun activities to do. If it's like I'll dial while I'm hiking, doing the pool, doing the laundry, find a friend, I guess, and dial. I don't find a friend and dial. Other people could do that though if they were unmotivated. It's just the math though. I just know if I don't hit that number today, then I'm gonna have to do double the next day to catch up. And so many great things come if I hit my target. So
That's actually interesting the way that you said it, because when people want something, they are far more likely to avoid pain than to seek pleasure. It's the island effect, right? Where you talk about if you want someone to move islands, you can't be like, ooh, look at this island. It's so nice. Come over here. You're like, oh yeah, your island's nice, but my island's great too. So I'll just stay here. You have to blow up their island.
Right.
So what we just said there made a lot of sense. If you don't do the phone calls today, you've got that many more to do tomorrow. And 100 phone calls can be a lot of phone calls to be making in a single day. So even that idea of, oh, if I don't do this today, I'm going to have to do this tomorrow and it's going to be even more, that would motivate me to do what I need to do.
For sure.
The fear of it is a good motivator, I'd say too.
And if you go with those like mindsets, that like never put up a zero, if you're like a good fitness plans and stuff, and it's like you really don't want to work out, it's like even if you just go down and do 5 minutes of core, like just don't not work out, and then you can you keep that like momentum going, even if it's like not that big huge 45 minutes that you should be doing. It's like just do 5 minutes. So that you don't tomorrow be like, oh, well, I didn't do it yesterday. I might as well, don't get off the bandwagon. And that's where that's like, just get 100 calls, even if they're old leads. Just throw something in to check it off. And then I'll find my new motivation tomorrow where I'm excited and call, active contacts or something.
Yeah. I'm a big person for setting yourself up for success as well. I mean, a lot of people, you're very right with like, if you just do the 5 minutes, you'll feel better working out, it gets you motivated, and you'll end up maybe doing 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case is. I also love the idea of setting yourself up for success. So like if I wake up and I'm like, oh, I feel like crap today. I'm not feeling great. I don't want to do this. I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep last night, whatever the case is. I'll be like, okay, today, instead of having my regular tea, I'm going to have a specialty coffee. Or today, instead of having, this regular protein bar, I'm going to have the one that I really like. Like, I'll give myself those little boosts, those little motivators to change my scope for the day, because then it makes me a little bit happier, a little bit more excited, a little bit more palatable to actually do what I need to do.
Right. Amazing. A little treat.
Yeah,
Sure.
Exactly. So my habits there when I'm not in the mood. What about you? What's like a non-negotiable habit or a ritual that really keeps you grounded and high performing?
I think from the beginning has always been just that morning routine. I do the exact same thing. It's 7 days a week. The alarm goes off at 5:28 and 2 minutes to make your bed. But having that same pattern where it's like an hour of admin, I do my breakfast, and then I get to do my workout, get the girls on the bus, and then, call through the same leads until 11. Like nothing changes 7 days a week until 11 o'clock in the morning from like what I eat. And so that for me is like a non-negotiable in a sense. I have to do this, I have to work out, and then have your calls, or choose to do all those. And I think that's what it's like been building on. And then for agents, like they should be, look, or any salespeople, it should always be that same, do that prospecting. And that's like a non-negotiable block. So there's other activities that come up, your text, your emails, home evaluations, all that. It's like all of that should happen after 11 o'clock in the morning. Have that same morning. So then no matter what, it's like, well, at least I got all these super important things that set me up for success for the day and for my life out of the way. So when a curveball hits me, it's like it hit me after all this stuff, rather than when they, wake up and then it's like, find that excuse that's going to detour your whole day. Find that out at 11. So that's pretty much how my ritual goes, I guess.
No, I like that. Now, we all experience failure to some degree or another, whether it's a big failure or a daily failure, whatever you want to call it. And I know some people don't like the word failure. It's however you think about it, something that's like a setback. So what is your relationship with failure now? And what was it like compared to when you first started?
I think I have a horrible relationship with failure. I have a really hard time with it, which can be a flaw, because pivoting is the best part of failing, right? Is like learning from that and like being able to change direction, where I just tend to keep like, no, I can't fail at, learning piano. It's like, you just like keep spending so much time and energy focusing on it that I do think that's a problem for me to deal with. I'm afraid of failing, which tends to make me a lot more hesitant, even like friends or like trying new things. I just get like caught up in that, like, oh, but what if it doesn't, so it constantly holds me back. I think if I didn't have, the handful of people who are like cheerleaders that push me outside my comfort, I would always just be the girl in the corner in the hoodie and the messy bun, making phone calls and like not interacting with anything so I don't know. It's not a good strength for me dealing. And I guess it changed. It's like I've become more comfortable with it and okay. But I do tend to like try to keep making things work once I've decided to make that leap.
So right there, that's actually something I want to stick with, because it's really interesting what you said. So I understand the fear that you have of failure. A lot of people do have that. Actually, I would say like 99% of the world has that. And only the very conditioned people, the people who've done like a lot of work on themselves and really like not dumbed it down, but really got down to the core of it, I think they might be different, but most people are just like you. But what you said was really interesting. You said that you're so afraid to fail that you just keep going. You make those 100 calls. You keep pushing through. And yeah, you have your cheerleading team and you've got your friends who kind of pull you outside of your comfort zone. I think that's really important. I think that's very normal though too. Like what you just said is very, very normal, but you've got resilience in there.
Right.
Even though you're afraid to fail, the resilience for being afraid to fail is what's keeping you pushing forward, which is actually, I know you said that you thought it might be, bad, but I think that's actually can be utilized as a really good tool. I can say personally, I'm afraid to fail too. And trust me, I fail daily.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
There is something every day where I'm like, oh, failed at that one. But what I do personally is every time I do fail, I literally, and sometimes it's out loud. So like if you ever see me, somewhere alone in public where I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm literally trying to process something. But if I fail, I actually ask myself, okay, well, what can I learn here? What can I change? Where do I have control? Because a lot of the reason why we don't like failure is because it highlights our lack of control over something. Yeah. Like, listen, I'm not going to do something unless I think I'm going to be good at it. And, like that's the way I am. Like,
I used to competitively dance my entire life. I competed on a world stage. I won Canadian championships multiple times. I went to the worlds, I went to the nationals, and I was ranking top 10, top 4 in them. I danced my entire life. My husband to this day still asks me, he's like, why don't you ever dance anymore? And I'm like, because my body can't perform the way that it used to. And for me, because I danced so competitively and like my brain was performance mindset, I never grasped the concept of doing it for enjoyment. I was always doing it to win. And if I wasn't winning, I was failing. So literally, I know it sounds sad when you like really break it down, and trust me, I've broken it down, guys. Don't worry. I know I'm like this. But I don't dance like that anymore because I'm afraid of failing myself.
Right.
And so what I do is I look, okay, well, where's the control? So every once in a while, I'm like, okay, well, the control is I can do these moves still. So every once in a while, when somebody's like, Colleen, dance for us, I'll pull out the moves that I know that I can still do. They're pretty chilly and exciting. So I think the other aspect of being afraid to fail is breaking it down and seeking where you have control over a situation as well. And then that's also a good helpful aspect when you're struggling with failure, like just like you, when you're looking at doing something new that's outside of your comfort zone, if you can seek to find where you have control in that situation or, whatever it is you're doing, might make you feel a little bit more comfortable and feel like, failure is a little bit further away. You're not going to fail at it. You're just going to try it and hopefully it works for well.
Yeah. It's a good way to do it.
Okay. So now I want to get to know a little bit more about you. I want to know what's an unexpected skill or hobby that you have that might surprise people. I always like to get little surprises from my...
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. So I wanted, like my whole life growing up, we always had really crummy cars. So we would fix cars every weekend. And that was my plan, to be a mechanic. So I did that all through high school. And when I finished high school, I was going through to be a mechanic. That was as far as my education plans have been. So I could not fix a car now because they're just like computers. But give me an old carbureted vehicle and I'm your gal. I've taken them all apart. So
oh my goodness.
A good,
that's so
good
cool.
skill. Although that does give me maybe more confidence. Like I tried to fix the dishwasher last week because I'm like, oh, I can fix anything. And then it's like flooded our basement. So sometimes this like what I used to do doesn't translate well into present day things because that was 20 some odd years ago.
I understand that. My toxic trait is I look at pretty much everything and I'm like, oh, I can do that. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. No, it is a bad and a good thing.
Yes, I'm not allowed to touch my husband's power tools very often because, especially if he's not around, because he's like, no, you're gonna try and MacGyver something. I have a Peloton bike.
Yeah.
Multitasking because we're busy people. I literally have MacGyvered a desk that goes on my Peloton bike so I can bike as I'm working. And guys, listen, I know there's gonna be people, you can't multitask. Physically speaking, it is phenomenal for me. I do the work that's, appropriate to do when you're Pelotoning.
Yep.
And obviously I'm not doing like a Cody video or anything like that or a Tune Day video, but I'm still biking and getting some of my exercise in, and I MacGyvered it. And I remember when my husband saw it, he's like, clever, that's smart, but really? And I'm like, yeah. So
amazing. Yeah. No, I love doing those things, but sometimes we fail at them, and that's okay. Now I know I don't have to fix the dishwasher.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if I need help with any of those things, I'm going to be calling you and say, hey, let's MacGyver this together. That's awesome. All right. So if your life and your leadership journey were turned into a Netflix series, which love Netflix, what would it be called and who do you think would play you?
So this is actually a very bad question for me. I don't watch almost any TV except for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
However, I have just recently watched The Diplomat, and my husband is like convinced that the lady in who I don't even know her name. I should Google it. the lead woman in that, and her and I are very similar personalities, very abrasive, yet, try. So maybe her and something like that. I think it would have to go along with like my just do it. That's sort of on the team. That's always my little like that Nike logo, just like, oh my God, just do what you have to do and then like don't think about it. So something maybe along that, just do it. And I don't know, raising kids in the mess of it, because I feel like they add a lot of animations to my day, and
Labor.
We've talked about that, right? Like kind of kids just throw a wrench in everything in a great way.
Yes, they make things exciting in many different aspects.
Yes.
So true. All right, so let's end with the vision. What's next for you? What is your big dream that you are chasing right now, and what can we look forward to seeing you do?
We've launched, so it's been my Instagram handle is that like the ISA Today, which was like a funny thing that I started with my friend Laura. She's an agent, and she had started with an ISA with me 5 or 6 years ago, and we would make these little funny videos, which I should dig up because they were hilarious. Well, at least we thought they were. Anyway, we're now though launching, so ISA Today, we've been training up like VA ISAs and placing them on real estate teams just for like reactivating old databases of online leads. So this has been a big project. We've like integrated with some AI who does dials and chats. And so yeah, we're up and running with that. We have a few teams already who are signed up. And that's the big project, is like scaling what I do on the team for lots of teams.
That's awesome. And for all of the listeners who are out there listening, they know I always touch on AI, probably at least once, because I love the AI movement that we have going forward. It's so beneficial for entrepreneurs. So I love that you're already incorporating that into your ISA business. So that's just incredible. So there you have it, listeners. I'm so excited that you got to join me for today, but what I want to do is leave our listeners with the ability to contact you. Anyone who might want to reach out to you and ask you questions about cold calling, anyone who wants to know about being a real estate agent and not having to actively be in the field, anyone who may be even interested in joining your team, or anybody who just wants to start following you because they liked what you had to say today, how can the listeners get in contact with you?
Gosh, I think it's like the Instagram is ISA_today_. That's how I can tell them to get there.
Wonderful. We will make sure that we link all of your social media and profiles to the videos here. But thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. It's been wonderful to get to chat with you and sharing your wisdom.
Awesome. Thank you.
Not a problem. All right, listeners, thank you so much for joining us as well. And I will make sure that all of Courtney's details are linked in the bio section below. So make sure that you like and share. And if you want to know more from Courtney, please do reach out to her. All of her information is there for you. And thank you, of course, for tuning in today. Take care, everyone. See ya.